Every day there are horses and ponies being dewormed and being rid of their fleas. Why? Every day I remind the PlayStation community that they are old. Not old in age, but old in their thinking. The gaming landscape has changed. Yes, and it's not only for Xbox like most of these ponies think, it's also for Sony. The mere fact that Sony is putting Helldivers 2, one of their flagship games, onto Xbox proves that this is not exclusive to Xbox, but also Sony. So today I have hired Michael Jackson to wake up these old and dying ponies.
Michael! 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 Michael!
Yes, there's a lot of people these days who are very vocal about PlayStation.
PlayStation is so hyped up because when we was kids, online was free. We are all from the trenches. We weren't raised by money. Only why PlayStation is so deep, why it's so many people on that console, why it's even popular, because online was free when we was little. Facts on God. That's only why I got a PlayStation. When PlayStation started making us pay, we just stuck with it because we already was on PlayStation. That's only why PlayStation is so deep. Overall, nigga, Xbox is a better console. I've been PlayStation my whole life. I know the difference, bro. I've been PlayStation my whole life, bro. It's a difference, gang. My mama, it's a difference, bro. It's a difference. Bro, I got 30 homeboys, gang. We all on Xbox. I got most.
Digital Foundry, as they usually do, did a review of Metal Gear Solid Delta. And one of the clips that they had that went viral was talking about the performance of the game. That it struggled, even on the PS5 Pro, to hit a steady 30 to 60 frames per second, which sounds insane.
Those explosive barrels all conspire to tank that frame rate during combat, and we're more realistically operating at between 30 to 50 FPS. I've taken the more run and gun approach in this case, but even sticking to stealth, this does sadly fall outside the VR window on PS5. In comparing the two PS5 machines directly with a matched route, the base model is enjoying up to a +7 FPS advantage over Pro hardware.
Persons all over the world is looking at Sony with a side eye. Well, in an interesting turn of events, the creators of Gears of War would have tweeted out this: ending the console war one grub at a time. Thank you for 1 million players. So as we know, this game would have come out about a couple days ago, and so far it's doing excellent. It's doing excellent worldwide on Game Pass, on PlayStation, and all around the world. Gears of War Reloaded is destroying the competition. Now, when it comes to this game is a decade old. Yes, this is a decade-old game. And guess what? Microsoft would have ported this to PlayStation, and guess what? The ponies are eating it up. So it's a win-win. Ponies get game, while Microsoft get some more money from a decade-old game. And what do we get in return for giving this to PlayStation? Well, we get one of the latest, once exclusive PlayStation game. That is Helldivers 2. Yes, Helldivers 2 has made its way onto an Xbox platform for the first time. And guess what? We are eating good with it. There are a lot of persons that supported this game. And a matter of fact, this has exposed the PlayStation community yet again. Now, what am I saying here? How has this exposed the PlayStation community? Well, look at some of the numbers this analytical company would have come out with. Although I know that these guys are sketchy because they analyze based on reviews. But if this is true, this has exposed the PlayStation community again. Listen.
Helldivers 2 reportedly sold more than twice as many copies on PC as on PS5.
I beg your pardon?
Helldivers 2 has sold more copies on PC than PS5, according to analyst firm Alinea Analytics. The report claims 12 million copies sold on PC compared to 5 million on PS5.
Now we understand why Sony is pushing to put their games onto PC, why they are pushing to put their games onto Nintendo and also Xbox. Because, put simply, there are not enough PlayStation fans who are going out to buy these games. Bear in mind that this is a revamped game, Helldivers 2. They came bigger, better, and guess what? This game is also at $40, and yet still, given all of that, the PlayStation community only bought 5 million with an 80 million install base. Think about it. And guess what? A PlayStation game sold more on PC than it did on its own platform. What are we even doing here? Now we understand why Totoki is going to bring these games to more platforms, because these ponies, they are not buying their games in droves. Let's face it, you guys, you ponies, have to face the facts.
He's out of line, but he's right.
Following its recent Xbox launch, the game has reportedly sold over 600,000 copies in just a few days on the platform. Helldivers 2 was launched on the PC and PS5 simultaneously on February 8, 2024, just 3 days after launch. The game had sold 1 million copies. Previously, in May 2024, Sony revealed that the game had sold over 12 million copies in just 12 weeks. However, the company never revealed how many copies were sold individually on the platforms. While there is no official record, an analyst firm has revealed that Helldivers 2 has sold more than twice as many copies as it sold on the PS5.
Damn! I'm sorry.
Why it matters, with Sony gradually embracing a multi-platform strategy, its approach to exclusivity is changing. Looking ahead, this could mean more PlayStation titles arriving on PC at launch, potentially even day one releases. Helldivers 2 sales breakdown on all platforms by Alinea Analytics. According to analyst firm Alinea Analytics, Helldivers 2 has sold 12 million copies on Steam alone, while PlayStation 5 sales are estimated at 5 million units. Since its recent launch on Xbox, the game has already sold 600,000 copies in just a few days. This brings the total sales to around 18 million copies. The figure aligns with expectations, considering Sony last reported 12 million sales over a year ago, meaning an additional 6 million copies sold in that period isn't surprising. As of yesterday, Helldivers 2 has sold through 12M plus Steam copies, 5M plus PlayStation copies, and 600K plus Xbox copies. Alinea Analytics. These figures highlight the dominance of the PC market, which may encourage Sony to release its games on the platform sooner and more frequently. However, it's essential to note that these numbers are based on analyst estimates, not official confirmations. So, while we recommend taking this with a grain of salt, if accurate, it's huge news for PC players. The game recently experienced a surge in its player base following the Halo crossover and its launch on Xbox. Another spike is likely with the upcoming Into the Unjust update, set to release in just a few days. What are your thoughts on the dominance of the PC platform? Share them with us in the comment section below.
Yes, quite frankly, the PC is dominating sales compared to the PlayStation, and Sony has to be noticing that. Now, in addition to that, when it is you look at how this game is tracking, for just a couple of days selling 600,000 on the Xbox, it's tracking faster than what Astrobot did. Think about that. Astrobot sold 1.5 million in 2 months, but Xbox already bought 600,000 of this game already. It's tracking faster than Astrobot. So Sony has to be taking note of all of this. They have the data. So whether the ponies like it or not, money will be talking at the end of the day. And guess what? I believe that this game would reach 1 million before the month is end, by far. Now, what do you think about this, and how are the ponies reacting? Listen to see how they are reacting.
But yeah, it's just it's where we are now with things, you know? It's kind of ironic how the console wars are over. You know, Sony and Microsoft have embraced each other to a degree. They shake hands. They share games with one another. Or Xbox and PlayStation, but you know, I digress. And it's interesting to me how I can be the one to come out and be like, yeah, okay, this is cool. Let's see what happens.
No, MBG, it's not all right. It's not cool because you and other ponies never guessed that PlayStation would have done this. None of you. And it really caught you guys, unexpectedly. It really did cause, surprise you guys that Sony would take their game and put it onto Xbox, knowing fully well that they would have shipped 80 million consoles. You see, you guys thought that the 80 million consoles was enough. But the data is showing that although Sony would have sold 80 million or shipped 80 million consoles, they are not selling the amount of software they want to with that 80 mil. And that is why they are moving on from putting all their games on one platform. They're putting it on PC, they're putting it on the Switch, and they are now putting it on Xbox. And you guys don't know what to do with yourself because you guys didn't guess that this would have happened. And the simple reason for why Sony is doing it is this chart. Look at this chart. A PlayStation game is selling more on PC than it is selling on PlayStation. And soon, Sony would see that this game is even selling well and respectable on Xbox. So why would Sony throw away all of that money knowing that these ponies ain't even going to buy the games that how they used to do back in the day? Well, let me hear what you think about what Sony is doing. Are you upset? Are you happy that Sony has made the change and really showed that console sales is not everything? Let me know in the comment sections below. Next up, there's a rumor. There's a rumor that is going around that PlayStation is making a console that is very similar to the Nintendo Switch, and it would be equivalent to the Series S. Yes, you heard me right. You heard me right. Sony is not only going to copy the Switch, they are also going to copy Xbox by having this variant.
PS6 reportedly has Xbox Series S-like variant. Fans concerned.
Now, why would PlayStation fans be concerned by this? Is it because for the most part of this generation, you guys would have made fun of the Series S, calling it a potato and so forth? Well, guess what? Sony looks like they are going to make their own baked potatoes. And guess what? You guys are going to love it like you do everything that Sony makes.
A new leak claims that Sony will offer a lower-priced PS6 variant akin to Xbox Series S, leaving players concerned. Xbox Series S is often criticized, including by Sony itself, for holding the current gen back. So fans are understandably worried. Costs may tempt Sony to release a lower spec, lower-priced PS6S. This leak comes from YouTuber Moore's Law is Dead, MLID, who's been fairly reliable since originally leaking the PS5 Pro. In a new video, MLID claims that Sony will introduce a Series S-like lower-priced console alongside the regular PS6 console and a handheld. The insider refers to it as PS6S, Canis console, as it'll reportedly utilize Canis chip and RAM. Considering skyrocketing costs and prices, we can see why Sony may be tempted to introduce a cheaper PS6, if this rumor is true. However, what truly makes a difference is the console specs. If there's significant disparity between PS6 and PS6S, and Sony mandates devs to accommodate both consoles like Microsoft does with Series X and S, it'll certainly cause some frustration.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Please not another S console. It is bad for the devs and usually also bad for games and their optimizations. One player wrote on Reddit, "We don't need 4 types of different consoles for devs to try and develop for." Wrote another, "Right now, all we have to go by is Mlid's report and speculations about what PS6S is, so we'll reserve our judgment."
Wow, wow, wow. So not only would Sony be copying the Switch, they would also be copying Xbox. Now, would the PlayStation community keep the same energy like how they did with the Series S?
If the PlayStation 6S is real, I expect to see the same energy about it given the hate Series S is holding back gaming. Well, that would be a false equivalency in an attempt to create hypocrisy where one doesn't exist.
Isn't it funny how you still see people coming out today and they're like, but what about the Series S? What about what you said about the Series S? And it's like, I don't understand you people.
Yes, both MBG and Jimmy Neutron fans are calling them out because they would have said a lot of things about the Series S. A lot of ponies said all sorts of disparaging things about the Series S, and now they are going to accept the new PlayStation S. But let's see how it turns out. If any of this is true, let's see how these guys dance their way out of this one. It's gonna be fun, guys. It's gonna be fun, so buckle up. So guys, let me hear what you thought about the video today. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.